Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your host of Xenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. And as promised, we are going to review the excellent 1953 movie, It Came from Outer Space, in 3D. Well, we're not reviewing it in 3D, but maybe three beers, maybe 3B, three beers and looks good, eh? However, this is one of the top science fiction movies of the time period. It's based on a Ray Bradbury script called original film treatment called The Meteor. And I do believe it has been published as a short story or even a longer story now. But off the top of my head, I don't know. I've not read it, but I did read a bunch of the short stories science fiction movies are based on, like Day of the Triffids, Day Came to Day, the Earth, The Day the Earth Stood Still, and The Thing. I've read all those. I wish I still had that book. It was really good. Be that as it may, before we get too much further into it, please like, share, subscribe. Leave us a comment. Those are great. And hit the subscription bell if you want to be notified of new content every day. Tomorrow we will be talking about a brand new animated series. All right. So having said all that, we could actually skip here. Yes, it is a Universal movie. So it's just really a fun little credit there. So having said all that, let's roll. This really isn't going to be a long review, because I mean, there's been so much that's been said about it already, and I don't need to go into it much more than that. I mean, much more than we do. We know who the stars are. It's it's filmed in 1953, released on June 5th, 1953. $800,000 budget and 1.6 million in rentals, so it was a hit. I'm surprised they actually didn't make a sequel. The return of It Came from Outer Space Returns. That'd be a better one. Richard Carlson is our hero. We meet them right away. We see a nice establishing shot of alleged Arizona. I think it was all shot on location in the California towns of Palmdale, Victorville, and the Mojave Desert. So, it's supposed to be in Arizona, in the desert, or Nevada. Just, Sand Rock, Arizona. Of course, it would be called Sand Rock, because why wouldn't it? So here's the house. There's our heroes. That would be a newly married couple. I think they're married. John Putnam and Ellen Fields. It's Richard Carlson and Barbara Rush. We know him from The Creature from the Black Lagoon. This was her one of her earlier roles. And the rest of the cast, they only show the title scene at the beginning. So he's an astronomer, and because you can see the stars a lot better. Author and amateur astronomer, pardon me. And she's a school teacher. I guess they're not married yet. But so guess what they see? And unfortunately, in every print I've ever seen, home video, I've had the VHS, I've had the DVD, and now these come from the Blu-ray. You get to see this lovely. You can see the string, the pole. I mean, you wouldn't notice it the first time. I'm sure I didn't, but having seen it so many times, and then a lovely miniature explosion. And I forgot that they showed the Xenomorph right away. I've seen it, but I forget. I know that Bradbury did not like them showing the alien. He thought that should have just been left to the imagination, and he's got a point there. But I love the Xenomorph. It's just such a cool looking thing, and so very, very non-human. I mean, but the effects, and it was filmed in 3D, as I said. So I'm sure that it would be fun to see in 3D. Ooh, I rhymed. The Blu-ray does have a 3D version, but I don't have a 3D Blu-ray player or 3D. I don't know if you need a 3D television. It doesn't matter to me. The creature scares this poor coyote or dog pretending to be a coyote and a rabbit. And then our heroes take rent a helicopter and fly out there. Now, you'd think she was supposed to be teaching. Oh, they do mention the school that she's not at while she's out gallivanting. But at least she's given the substitute teacher something to do, right? I mean, am I right? Am I right? So there's the crater, and then they're looking down. The crater is a miniature, but they're out there. They do a really good job. Old Putnam climbs down to see what's down there. Like, that's a good idea in a science fiction movie. Oh, and look, we do have some. Let's see if we can get some. Oh, there's some music here from the trailer. I almost used that right away, but Forbidden Planet's always fun. I can talk over this a bit. There he wanders in, and of course, sees a spaceship. Nothing like that's ever been seen on Earth before. The music that you hear there
It came from outer space to
is done by, where did his name go? Joseph Gershenson. He was the supervision, uncredited. Irving Gertz, Henry Mancini, Herman Stein. It was Universal's, uh, music writers department, I guess. They all got famous later on, especially that guy named Mancini. But no Pink Panthers in here. So they cause an earthquake to get away from to get the people not looking at them.
fill the world with terror, to bring you unforgettable suspense. What was it? Where did it come from? Who were the all-powerful creatures it brought from outer space?
Once again, the trailer promises you a little more something than it delivers you a very thoughtful movie because, surprise, the aliens aren't evil. They do go about it a little bit differently. Perhaps they could have just, taken the form of someone and said, hey, this is, and approached one of the townspeople and said, we don't want to stay here. Well, everyone will be safe. We just need to get out of here. There it is in one of the first, and it floats right into the screen for us. And it leaves it's very glittery, so it can't be bad. It leaves fairy dust everywhere, right?
And what did they want on Earth?
They want to go home.
You can learn the amazing answer only when you see the most thrilling picture in years. It came from outer space.
I like that they actually use a real license plate, and they're not even in Arizona. And if you haven't ever been there, go see the Grand Canyon. It's amazing. And Sandrock Star, dummy newspaper. Oh, even got to have some yellow press everywhere, don't you? So all the reporters are talking to him, and he's like giving them the brush off. There's our secondary hero of sorts, Charles Drake as Sheriff Matt Warren. Kind of think he's after Ellen as well, but it's not really stated outright. Um, you'll recognize most of these people were on Indeed, Perry Mason, and you'd recognize them when you see them. I didn't. She was very new. I thought she did a fine job. I didn't. I mean, could have been a better actress, I think, but first time she did great. His binoculars. Actually, I take that back. She was good. She was good in the role. Sorry there, Barbara. Don't mean to disparage you. And look, several years before he gets on a 3-hour tour, it's Russell Johnson. And also when he gets attacked by the crab people. Russell Johnson as George, and not the professor. He's still a couple years from his degree. And that's our lineman Frank as Joe Sawyer. You've seen him in a billion westerns as well. And off they go. Guess who gets possessed first? George and Frank. Yeah, so there they are again. So they do kind of haul the monster out, or the alien. It's not a monster. It just looks like one, but they do haul it out quite a bit. So I can see where, maybe if they'd have just let you see glimpses of it, it might have been more fun. But when you build the thing, you're going to want to use it. I get both sides. And you know me, I love seeing creatures of all kinds, lots of them. So they find him, and he's talking in that monotone voice, and it kind of echoes. So you think that, and he stares at the sun without blinking. No comment about it. And only an idiot would do that, like during a full eclipse or something. But old Frank wakes up and then sees both Georges. So, and then we bring the sheriff back out, who's getting annoyed, and then we see our doppelgangers, and the aliens are in their forms. Those are actually, they're not just creating clones like robots, but they, and then we got the jump scare to give you a little laugh. A little dopey kid dressed as a space cadet because he's Rocky Johnson. I don't remember which. Oh, Toby. I don't know what his name was. He's got a miniature ray gun. Once more, they're trying to convince the sheriff, who's just a dunderhead. But unfortunately, Ellen's next. And the old look at this 1953, and they're still using these ancient phones. How is every little thing there, Sarah? So now they're joining forces, and we have an. I didn't know there was an intermission, but there it is, an hour into the movie. Well, maybe not an hour, maybe 55 minutes, but it's like really. I miss intermissions, especially with these, the blockbusters that are 2.5, 3 hours long, 3.5, because those are bladder bursters, don't you know? Sorry, Endgame could use an intermission, and so could Infinity Wars and a couple other ones. Eternals, well, you shouldn't have just gone. You just shouldn't have gone. Nobody did. So, Carlson, the scenery is so good here. The shooting, I mean, I didn't even say who it was directed by, which of course was the wonderful Jack Arnold, who shot quickly, shot well, knew his actors, and the editing, everything is just wonderful. It's lit well. You know, he's like, "Oh, that's not you," but he goes in there. Now look how this is framed. And there he sees. They say, "Show me your true self." He's a little stunned. Be careful what you ask for. Oh, Matt's ready to go. He's going to blast him out. They're like, "Give us time." Then his idiot deputy convinces him to round up Deputy Reed, William Pullen, convinces them to round up a posse and go blast the aliens. Just get rid of them. Off he goes. There's your posse. That's a really nice shot. I mean, and they kill one of the aliens. Apparently, it was just they're trying to repair their ship. That's what the Xenomorph tells him. Now I like how this is lit. It's still dark. You know it's dark, but they've got enough light to see everything. You can contrast that with the way Green Hornet is lit, which with better copies it would look better. I know that, and here, I mean, it's still dark. You don't see the chasm right there, but she tries to zap him, or the alien Ellen tries to zap him with her wand. There it is, nice animated ray. I'd forgotten that was in there, and then he blasts her and kills her. She falls into the water and apparently drowns. Then he meets his doppelganger, and he tries to convince him, you got to get out of here. The people are coming. He's going to blow up the ship, and it's like no. And finally, he agrees. We can't trust you, but we're going to release the people. Give us time. So they let all the people, and they resume their original forms. They let all these people out. They get out. Frank and John get some dynamite because they want to seal that side of the. They're in a mine, so they want to seal the mine up. Throw it back there, lights it, kaboom! This is probably an in-camera shot because it's cleared everybody away. And they're like, Frank, Matt's all, is that the end of them? Okay, hey, that's the end of them, dude. Like, okay, yeah, my macho voice needs some work. And then all of a sudden, the blast, the earth shakes, out it comes, they go. And again, look at this. It's really just nice. So this is the reverse shot of them crashing in. It's just, I mean, this is not, but this one was back here. Oops. That one was the reverse. You can see it because the sparks fly upward. It looks cool, no doubt about it. And then he's like, nope, they'll be back. Somebody will be back. And hopefully they'll be as nice. And most of them were not. And that's it. So that is our movie. I really highly recommend. I mean, you can't recommend it enough. Sure, there are some quibbles here and there, but it's just nice to see aliens make their. I mean, neither side is bad, and neither side handles it well because the aliens could have approached them as somebody's doppelganger and said, you find this hard to believe. Oh, it does say xenomorphs right there, and so those faker aliens that popular now called Xenomorphs, are not the originals. But anyway, both sides aren't they're in the right, but they're not. They're protective and defensive, and you get it because if you look like that, you'd scare the Jesus out of people. Like this music can if you're watching The Forbidden Planet. Oh, and we do get here's our stars. I only kept a few of them there. Charles Drake and the Professor. Harry Essex wrote the screenplay, and I think Bradbury didn't even want his name on it. I hope he mellowed out about the movie because it's really wonderful. And there's Jack, and now we're done. So, I did not play a lot of the trailer. I really should have, but we'll get a little more of that, right? Oh, well.
In the astonishing realism of 3 dimension, with objects coming right out of the screen, so real they almost touch.
Well, I'll tell you what, 3D stuff gives me, because I have to wear glasses on occasion already. Oh, they didn't fix that. Be that as it may, my fellow agents, until our next assignment tomorrow with cartoons, this is X7, signing off. Don't take any wooden xenomorphs.
Yes, it came from outer space to fill the world with terror, to bring you unforgettable suspense. What was it? Where did it come from? Who were the all-powerful creatures it brought from outer space? And what did they want on Earth? You can learn the amazing answer only when you see the most thrilling picture in years. It came from outer space. In the astonishing realism of 3 dimension, with objects coming right out of the screen, so real they almost touch you.